all doing? The post has turned up eventually. I've been waiting a week for this lot to turn up. So let's start off the beginning. Good friend Darren had these listed on Fleabay, these couple of tools, and I thought, you know what, I've seen these about loads of times. I think I even had a go at messing with them a long time ago. They're pretty pants because they don't fit very much. But what we're going to do is later on, not today, but we'll do another video and we'll try and make these into something that's useful. Okay, so Darren, thank you very much for giving me such a super deal on these. Bless him. He'll give me the handles and all sorts of stuff in there, ain't you, Darren? Look at that, even the spare tips and everything, eh? Bless you. Appreciate that. So we've got that sort of spring-loaded sort of 2-in-1, and we're going to see if we can get that to work on something. And if not, we'll change it. And then in this one, we've got it's one of these, I don't know, is it dragon something? I don't know what these are. Again, Darren had them and found very little use for them. So I thought we could turn this into something as well. It's another sort of 2-in-1. All these parts are useful for me. I think, oh, I can use that for something, maybe use that for something. But we'll try and turn it into something. So what you been doing with that, Darren? It looks a bit burned or sucked. Bless you. Right, yeah, so that's for a future video, these two things. So we'll have a look at them. The leggy. It's turned up. Just looking at the text of the box, you know, this has got some age. And these things that really excite me. Something, a bit of a blast from the past, a bit of vintage, collectible, very collectible. I haven't got one of these, but I am going to put this in this week's prize draw for my supporters. So supporters, thank you very much. It is a true gem. So we'll have a look what we've got. I don't even got a clue yet. I've not had an investigation. So we've got what else we've got in here? Oh, we've got the destructions. We don't need no destructions, do we? Don't need that. We've got a lovely bag. We've got some screws and a little keyway, little dust cap thing. You can have that. A keep, you can have that as well. Oh, here it is. Oops, upside down. Just got secure 5 lever on there. This is a bit we want. Look at them screws. Look, you don't see screws like that anymore. This blue hammerite finish. Great, you can see what's going on. Just by looking at that now, I can yeah, that is definitely warded on the inside of that case. It's about 7 gauge, it's non-curtain. But we got no key. Oh, never mind. But we don't need a key, do we? So we're going to have a look at this in a bit more detail in a moment. So get yourself all excited. It is 5 levers. And we'll open it up in a bit and we'll have a look. So what else want to talk about? Hopefully I did manage to pick some of these old girls up. Some of these old 440s. And we'll probably do a little video to make something. I'll show you how to make something so you can get into these. Got no keys again. I mean, these weren't expensive. And bless them, the person that posted them out to me on Fleabay. £1.83 for postage. You can't make any money on sending stuff for £1.83, especially like this. But put your postage up, you're going to lose money doing that. But we've got a couple of these. They were cheap, no keys. But we're going to find out and we'll make something together so we can have a little fun at popping these two open. I'll have to lock that one back up again, but we'll find, hopefully they'll work. Fingers crossed, and I can have to lock that one back up as well. They do look like they're all there, I think. I've not even looked at them. They're only just turned up. Extra muck and dust as well. So again, another future video. So we've got a couple of things to do now. This lockdown's going to be interesting. Lots of stuff to make. Okay, before we have a look at the leggy, I want to talk to you about something else as well. Yeah, probably wouldn't. Some of you might know what this is and some of you might not. I've been struggling to drill holes in round things for years. And a very good friend of mine gifted me this idea, and he says, I'll show you a way of making nice square holes in round things without buggering it up. And he did, bless him. Now what this is a square collet block. They're not very expensive. You see them on Fleabay. I mean, this is an ER32. You get ER25s. They're smaller. The bigger the number, the bigger on these. And basically what it is, we shall unscrew this. It doesn't come with collets. You have to buy those separately. So we shall try and pop the collet out. They're a bit tight when you get them in. There we go. Let's give it a good old pop. There we go. It's popped here. Right. It's a collet. Now this is the collet what I use at the moment. So it's 18-17mm. Great for holding round things. But they do go all the way down to about 1 or 2 mil as well. And why would you use one of these? Well, if you think about it, when you're trying to hold something like this, and you need to drill holes in round things. It's a pig and a half to drill anything in a round thing anyway. But to try and get it exact measurements, exactly where you need them to be, it is really difficult to clamp this up in a standard vice. I know you get some vices with actual little round little inserts, but they're never the right size for what you're using. Or what it does is distorts your piece slightly. So a mil or so out this end ends up quite a lot out the other, so you end up with bits cockeyed. But if you get a collet like this, and I'll demonstrate the best I can, and we're going to do a bit more details on these in the future to try and help you understand. So put it all back together again. So we'll pop him back in there. We'll do the collet up. So, collet block. So what you'd do, you'd drop your piece in there, tighten it up. What that's doing, it's going to grab that piece exactly all at the same time. It'll push it together so it'll hold exactly where you need it. And then you can line your piece up. You can see it's slightly out. So you'd line your piece up exactly. Drill, mill, whatever you need to do. It ain't going to go nowhere. It's not going to damage it or mark it in any way because it's grabbing it on all points. And it could be from a little tiny bar to a huge thing. You don't have to be metal. It could be plastic. It could be anything. But to try and clamp up round things, and there's lots of round things that we do, one of these collet blocks is a godsend. So thank you to that person who gifted me this idea. And I shall share it with you guys. So they ain't expensive, and if you do like to mess about with round things, drilling holes, milling, cutting, whatever, doesn't matter what it is, if you want it nice and square, and we'll do a few more videos on this later on, collet block. Buy the block, and then you just buy the individual collets, so you can buy them in collet sets, and then you can hold those round things perfectly. And there's a few more tips I'll show you later on to make you get it square and exact. So we'll have a look at that in more detail later. Not today though, we'll do that another time. Right, let's have a look at that leggy. Let's see if I can get myself a screwdriver. Grab a bit, let's make a bit of room. Besides them bloody screws. I always get so excited when we get new things like this, or new old. It took me ages to find something a bit different. Right, first of all, we can see a bloody warding. Look at that. That's going to stop you trying to get to that first lever. That's why they put the warding in there. So that's going to be a bit tricky on you. And then exactly, we've got one in the back. It's non-curtained. And let's have a look at the levers. First one. Got any numbers or any indication on it? I can't really see anything on them. Sometimes there's grooves, sometimes there's notches. I've not opened it up yet, so it's the first time for me. So I can't see any number on it, but you can see the first one. Look at that bloody false notch on the top. And it's such a high lift, that one is, compared to the rest of the pack. So there we're there. You can see the difference there. How much more that would need to go up. So this one is one that's going to stop you. It's going to stop the old, as a friend of mine says, the coat hanger brigade. People that used to use the old coat hangers to pop into these locks. It'll stop the coat hanger brigade because those ones at the back are completely different to this one at the front. And as soon as you get anywhere like that, you're going to get stuck. So number one, false notch. So we'll put him down there. Number two, no false notch. Still a pretty high lift though. So little cuts for key control. She's had a few old years. This, as you can see, where the key's been grinding backwards and forwards. That's number three. No false notch. Number four, again pretty flat, no false notch. Fifth and final one, be careful getting that out. Want to bend that spring. And the fifth one, again quite flat. So it's that first one is going to get you. That's going to be pretty easy to get through those four. But trying to do that, you're going to affect that first one, and that's going to get you. And there's your, obviously your part where your key would engage on the bolt, and there's that little warding just on the inside of the case. So it's a beautiful, beautiful old lock. Right, I'll pop it all back together again, and then we'll stick it in the vise, and we'll try and figure out a way to open it. And if we can do that, you get the tools as well, supporters. So you'll get the lock and the tools. So I'll put it all back together again, and I'll see you in a minute. And if you like out there been struggling to find something decent to watch on the old TV, what have I been watching this week? What I thought was pretty good. Have you got Netflix? I've been watching The Queen's Gambit. Have a look for that. I'm not really into chess, but I tell you what, it's quite gripping and it's quite interesting and funny as well. So The Queen's Gambit, go and have a look for that on Netflix. Pretty good series. I found it quite entertaining. But it has been a struggle trying to find stuff to watch, amount of reruns and old stuff that we've had to get through. What we're going to do when it all runs out, we'll be back to watching the Carry On movies again the way we're going. It's going to be Home Alone at Christmas and the old usual rubbish that we have to watch every year. Nothing new, it seems to be coming out. Right, we're all back together again. We can see what's going on. We can see them all in there. You can see that bugger in the front. Right, we'll shove it in the vise and then we'll have a little look to see how we're going to get through the book. Okay, we've got the old girl in the vise. So we're going to have to use something to tension it with, a bit of wire I showed you the other week, and we will attempt. But that first lever, I think, and that warding is going to get us. So, well, we've got all that bolt, we can feel. I've got a lot of spring in this, because it's 7 gauge. I can't get much fatter wire in there, unfortunately. So, just drop him in. Try from the front. So we're going to lift this way. Tension on this hand going down. But I don't want to be too much. So look, straight on that false notch. Remember, the back four are very similar, but the first one was a lot higher lift, and it's got a false notch in it. So we'll try and get the tension just about right. You want to get you every time. So I can't lift that up any higher, the first one, because I start affecting the back four. And as soon as you get out, you end up with a false notch. So definitely coat hanger proof. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold it there. Let's try and jiggery pokery my wire out. Come on, you old girl, get out. She's out. And then what we're going to do is I've got a curtain wire here for curtain locks. Now, I don't cough, I don't sneeze, I don't do anything. Now I've got to try and get past that warding, so I've got to do a bit of angling here. Oh, I got me straight at false notch again. So, okay, we're going to go back. Drop this in here. Make sure that's right at the back. See, look, you got to hold it. I want to try and hold it there. I'm pinching that first one there. Right, come on, you little wire. Out you pop. We're going to get that cat pick wire. Now, we've got to try and get round that boarding. And then we're open. So, it's possible, but you're going to have a job on your hands because you're going to have to do half of it with that and then the other half with that. So that's going to be a bit more different and a bit more interesting. I will open it back up for you, so the person that does win this, and you'll get these bits of bent wire as well, so you can have a little go. But you've got to remember that back 4 is going to be a right tricky game. Let's see if I can try and convince it to lock back up. He says, try and get my hand in here. Where are you? Are you at the back? Let's see if I can find that bolt. Oh, there it is. Remember the bolt point's about there now. It's that first one, you see. The back 4, not a problem. It's the first one's got you trapped. So, we're going to hold it there. We're going to get that curtain wire. It's going the wrong way. Obviously, the bend's upside down. But we'll see if we can nip it round. So I'm trying to get around this camera and the tripod. You won't believe some of the positions I'll get myself into. It's like Twister. There we go. So it was that first one. So if you crack it open and you want to lock it back up, hit that first one because of the 4. Ain't going to do a great deal. So that was a bit of a pig. So we'll try it once more. There we go. Was it beginner's luck? So we're in. Do you want to see if I can get you a better close up of that pack? Okay, there you go. There. Oh, you've got to get it. So the front of that lever, you just can't get that high enough, see? It just wants to get that false notch. I don't want to leave it there because as soon as I disturb it, you want to try and get it jammed up on the very front of that lever above. There you go. Oh no, I know. As soon as I take that out, I've got to get myself straight in that false notch. I know I am. Okay, let's jiggle around here. Well, that one out. Don't move. Now, imagine if this lever, that one was in the middle. You'd never know. Now, the back ones have lifted up too much now, so we've got to take off a bit of pressure. We've got the first one, but there's one at the back. It's not quite yet. The very back one has got stuck. Let's try that false notch. You're going to have some fun with this, guys. You know me. I won't give up. You got to keep at it. So the trick is, get the back 4 up. Hold it there. Take your wire out. It's a bit of a hokey pokey. You want to be just sitting above that false notch with the pressure on your tension. And you want to go in with your wire and you want to nip it up like that. And you're through. And again, if we wanted to go for the first one, there you go. You've sussed it. Piece of cake. But if that first lever was in the middle or at the back, it would be a deadly pick. Imagine this in a door as well. It would be extremely tricky. So, I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. If you did, you know the usual. Thumbs up. Leave a comment below. I've had quite a few comments from the supporters this week, so thank you, supporters. Appreciate that. Peter in Australia wanted to look a bit more on lifting and whatnot, and I'll try my best. I showed a little bit in this video, but we will do a bit more. I wanted to know how we know when you got a different bitting in a pack, how you can still lift it. And we're going to do a bit more detail of that. I'll try and get a few more cutaways and I'll try and explain that. So suggestions is always good, guys. Appreciate those. Stay safe, stay well, and once again, supporters, thank you very, very, very much. I know it's absolutely ridiculously tough times, but without your help, I can't find these little gems to share with you and these little bits of information. So guys, stay safe and I'll see you soon. Ta-da.